All right, Joe. We're back. Second episode of the week. We're headed into week 3. We got waivers. We got picks. I'm excited.
We got football.
Yeah,
We got
exactly.
football on right now.
Currently, Bills Dolphins. Looks like
First game of the week.
Yeah.
Gotta love a good start. Some big fantasy names in the game.
Yeah, definitely, no doubt. You got the Josh Allen. You got the James Cook, Achan.
Tyree, maybe.
We'll see. But
trade him to the Chiefs.
Yeah, exactly. But with that, let's get right into the waivers here. I think I'm going to go ahead and start us off. I placed a pretty hefty bid on Ramondre. Probably wish I was only putting like 21 on him. I thought about going in the 20s, and then I was like, I don't know. Right now it looks
also thought about going in the 40s.
Yeah, I also talked about going in the 40s. But, like, in my opinion, I was like, Henderson got 5 carries. Gibson's not going to get a lot of carries. If they're going to give Stevenson the ball, I need an RB2, and I need him sooner rather than later. You just don't want to get off to
I was a little out of tune. I was a little out of tune with the Patriots game on Sunday because I was driving. I didn't realize that Henderson had 3 penalties to start the game off. And that was why he got benched, essentially.
Yeah, he had some holding calls. His pass protection was not great. Hopefully that will improve. But yeah, big spender there on Stevenson. You had Casey coming in pretty hot and heavy on Tucker Kraft. Apparently Tanner did not hit submit, or else he would have been on his team. So sucks to
suck. Let's take it with a grain of salt. I mean, you never trust what that guy says, but
yeah, I mean,
Casey with a big upgrade at tight end for a team that's already pretty good.
Big upgrade. Hopefully he can play for him this week. Then there was a couple
Packers
unsuccessful bids.
Couple defenses.
Oh yeah, I put 11 on the Packers. I think they're legit. I think I could maybe play them against anybody, so that's kind of why I went big on there. But yeah, some defenses and some small picks there. But
yeah, one of the few weeks when you see a bunch of failed waiver bids on a defense. I mean, $6 failing on a defense, that's kind of rare.
Yeah, and then one more
Packers have looked really good.
Real quick is Troy Franklin. I think it was a great pickup. I looked at him all week. My problem is I feel like I got my wide receivers kind of figured out, and running back was the issue. So he was definitely someone I liked, and but I had to go big on the running back committee.
Yeah, 1 down week, 1 up week. Week 3 will be a big week for him.
Mm-hmm.
And then,
but with that, we got some more trade news, and I'm back at it again. What can
our big trader.
I came to Cub with an offer. This is not the original offer I came to him with, but I'll keep that close to the chest. Who knows? But
confidentiality is always good.
Yeah, exactly. So I came to Cub with an offer, and I was like, I wanted to get a high floor flex, and I think Jacoby Myers fits the bill there. Getting a ton of targets every week so far, and hopefully that will continue.
Raiders gonna have to throw the ball.
Yeah.
Seems like their defense not very great.
Mm-hmm.
So
they had to throw it against the Patriots. Obviously they had to throw it against the Chargers as well. So, and then in terms of what I gave back, Tootin, who probably in terms of a lot of normal people's leagues that has 12 guys or maybe some bigger benches would be the top waiver ad. I doubt you'd have Ramondre sitting there on some leagues. So
yeah,
Tootin would have been the top waiver ad in most leagues. So a guy who who knows what he could be. And then Keon Coleman, who had a huge week 1, and he's Josh Allen's, could be his number 1 target. We'll see. I know Josh likes to spread it around, but if they can get the ball to Coleman, he could be huge, and I hope he is huge. When I trade players, I hope they work out. And I will say, like I said, this wasn't the original offer. I will say I didn't have Coleman as part of the offer. Cub put him on there. I didn't just try and trade Tootin, but Cub did add the Coleman part, and I think for me, when you look at trades, if you're not giving up something that you don't like a little. I mean, there's no
Right.
way the trade will get done. So, a
Yeah,
part
it
of
has to be good for both sides.
yeah, part of trade is a little bit of compromise, and I appreciated Cub, giving me a counter and a pretty reasonable, fair counter, I thought, and I was happy to get the deal done.
Yeah, to get good players, you got to give up good players. That's how it works.
Yep.
I like it for both sides. I think, be interesting to see how Tootin goes with the next couple of weeks. He's definitely getting worked more in after Bigsby got traded. Caught a touchdown last week, and obviously spent some draft capital on him, so could be big for Cub.
Yep. But we will move right into week 2 matchups. And
Love it.
Yeah, we're gonna get started here with Scott and Bo. And I'm gonna go ahead and say I picked Bo. You picked Scott. Both teams
We're a
are
little
0
split here. 0-4 matchup. A little early toilet bowl action.
Yeah, yeah.
But, long season. These teams have plenty of time to turn around. I went with Scott. I'm hoping Jaden Daniels will play. Young guy. Hopefully he can tough out the knee sprain. But we'll see on that. I think that his running backs are too good to not get in the end zone a couple of times. I really do. Genty, you saw some video. Probably some clickbait of him saying that he wants more touches. Kyron Williams is constantly getting carries near the end zone. I think that'll be a closer game than last week where Corum was able to get in the end zone when they were up big. Keenan Allen looks good. Worthy should be back this week. So I think I can see the pathway for Scott getting his first win this week.
Yeah, and then I'll talk about Bo for a little bit. I know Gibbs is playing a Baltimore defense, but a Baltimore defense no less that allowed 42 to the Bills. So, and James Cook was huge in that game, especially out of the backfield a little bit towards the end, had the huge catch and run. So I think Jahmyr Gibbs has a great week this week. Eventually, I think Philadelphia's got to get A.J. Brown involved. I did see Chris Jones kind of call him out there at the end of that game for how many yards that they had. So, maybe Philly tries to kind of show people what's up. He did get a new tight end in Kyle Pitts. I think Drake London has a bounce back week against a Carolina team that is not very good. So that's why I went with Bo.
A couple of Falcons. And then Mike Evans, you have to assume he's going to get 1,000 yards eventually, so he'll keep plugging along.
Yeah. And looks like we are headed into my matchup next. Sam versus me. And you know the rules on the pod. You got to pick yourself. I mean, if you're not picking yourself, what's the point of playing? So
it's still pretty early.
Yeah, I still have myself. I don't know what I'm going to do with RB2. Ryan also has me. And with that, I'm going to say, Ryan, what do you think I should do with RB2?
You're RB2. Oh, man. So you've got Travion
Stevenson.
And who else on the bench? Stevenson.
Judkins.
I think you have to ride out Hampton at least another week. You've drafted him high. You kind of got to stick with your guys there. And I think he's just going to get more and more involved. I mean, that fumble, I know they gave it to Herbert, but he was definitely involved.
Yeah, definitely involved.
So it might look worse in a coach's eyes than it did in a fantasy aspect. But I think he's just too much. I mean, you draft a guy that early, you're going to try to get him the ball. So the kind of same way I feel about Genty with Scott. And then other reason, man, Sam just got decimated this past week by injuries. With Burrow going down, I mean, you got a good replacement in Dak, I think. And then Aaron Jones going down. So having to replace that with Tyrone Tracy, that's quite the downgrade. Hopefully those guys Burrow's not coming back soon, but hopefully Aaron Jones can get back soon and give Sam a bit of a boost there at RB2. And maybe Tyreek gets in the end zone tonight, maybe catches a bomb in the second half here.
Yeah, I think I just saw Waddle snag one, so that is not.
I love it.
That is not.
I love
help
it.
Sam.
He's on my bench, but I love it.
Does help you. I will say, I think Dak's gonna have a great week this week, but I think it's gonna be to my boy CeeDee Lamb. So
that's true. So you got the classic cancel out kind of game there, where
yep.
If Dak does anything, well, I guess maybe Sam has a little bit better because if CeeDee does anything good, Dak is gonna probably benefit a lot.
Yep.
But I guess Dak could theoretically have a great game without CeeDee, but I agree with you. I don't see it happening.
Yep. And then I will say I still really love Amon-Ra. I got Jacoby Myers, who I think should steady out my flex a little bit. I haven't had much come out of that yet. Packers.
Where's your kicker, Clay Dog?
There's too many guys I like. I probably will pick one up. I don't know, something about Matthew Golden. I just have a good feeling about him this week, which I don't know. I don't know. I probably he's probably gonna be the one I drop. Probably not gonna drop Stephon Diggs yet. He has not been on the field for a full. They still have him on a snap count, which makes dropping him tough. But I
Yeah, up
just
at 50% this week, look like.
yeah, I just I don't know. I don't know. I did this earlier in the week, and I had a kicker, and then Kraft got hurt, and I was like, ooh, maybe I should have Golden, and I don't know. I don't know. But I probably will have a kicker. Yes, I don't know which one yet,
Maybe
but
you'll make another trade.
maybe there's been some offers thrown out there. So
I'm sure there have been some offers.
so we'll see. But like I said, gotta pick yourself. It's only week 3. So moving along, we got yourself and Joey, who
Now we got 4-0 on 0-4.
yeah. The complete opposite so far in terms of starts. You have you're out killing it. Your running backs are shining. I think James Cook is having another good start to his game. He might have like 80
Says
yards
5 right
already.
now. I think he's at 9.
Yeah. And then you
In a
got Joey,
personnel.
who's 0-4, RB2, another person with a questionable maybe RB2 spot. One of his high picks, Brock Bowers, kind of beat up a little bit already, and a quarterback
And starting Daniel
position.
Jones.
Yeah, and a quarterback position that he can't get right so far this year. So,
I
but
will say, of the guys that Joey could have picked up this week, I was much more excited when he had Russ in the lineup. I was really hoping he'd stick with it. Seeing Daniel Jones, the way he's been playing, I know that the history isn't quite there, but he's been playing great. I hope Jonathan Taylor can get some of those 1-yard touchdowns instead of the old Daniel Jones. Yeah. But, like you said, you got to pick yourself, especially when you're sitting here at 4-0, feeling good. The running backs are playing awesome. I will say my receiver core, especially with Joe Burrow going down and T taking that hit accordingly, could be a little bit better. With Waddle getting in the end zone right now, that I was definitely debating having him in the lineup, but he was questionable all week, so I was a little nervous there. But I hope that Jake Browning will have to throw the ball a lot, maybe since will be falling behind quite a bit. And I think Marvin Harrison might be a bit more involved in a competitive game this week with San Francisco. So,
yeah,
and then my boys, my boys are always there. They got the Giants this week. They're gonna ball out. They've heard all the noise. They want some points. Travis Kelce's heard it all. He's engaged to the most famous woman in the world. He's getting in the end zone, guaranteed. Guarantee it.
awesome. I mean, I don't know. Travis is maybe a guy I don't believe near as much in as you do, but I do believe in Patrick Mahomes, and I do believe in your running backs. I think right now you got the best running backs in the league. I'll even put him up ahead of Casey's and ahead of Lucas's. And then looking at Joey's team, you got to expect his wide receivers to do a little bit more than they've been doing. I know JSN's been good, but you got to think Brian Thomas and DK. And DK against the Patriots team, who I saw Christian Gonzalez at practice, but
They've been giving up some yards.
yeah, they've been giving up a ton of yards. Gonzalez, I don't think he'll play the whole time, and I don't think he's quite at 100% yet. So you got to think Joey gets some more love from his wide receivers, but we'll see.
Should be a good game. Good luck, Joey.
And then last but not least,
Oh, 2 more.
oh, never mind. I thought that we were already up the last one, but I forgot about Tanner and Cub. And how could I not? That will be a fun matchup in the group chat.
Quite often a game of the week. Not quite this week, but
Not
I can see
quite
why you would have
this
gotten confused.
Yes, I that's on me. But looking at Tanner's team, who I picked, I'll talk about his team. Lamar, he's killing it no matter if he gets off to a slow start or he gets off to a hot start. He's scoring a lot of points. I do like Tanner's running backs more now than I did at the draft, especially Chuba Hubbard, who he just scores points. He really just does.
Javante's turned it on.
Yeah.
He's looked, I was thinking they might work in Jaden Blue more a little bit with him being so young and Javante looking so bad the last couple of years. But Javante has not only scored a lot of points, but looked pretty good doing it.
Yeah, definitely. And then I think Ladd McConkey, he'll probably get more looks in a competitive matchup against Denver, kind of more so what he did against the Broncos instead of the Raiders. And then Roma Denze, he's been balling.
He has been balling against the Dallas defense that struggles to get a pass rush and has given up quite a few points.
And they'll probably score a lot of points, so that means
And
Chicago
they'll
is going
probably
to
score
have
a
to
lot
score
of
a lot of
points.
points. So,
Be throwing.
yeah.
I picked Cubs solely based on the merit of his team, no other reason. It helps that Josh Allen had scored 2 touchdowns, thrown 2 touchdowns by the time we made these picks already. Probably would have picked him anyway, just because, no reason. But I like that Kenneth Walker got back on the scene this past week. Big week, 100. I think he was over 100 yards and a touchdown. Justin Jefferson, I actually don't think he takes much of a hit going from McCarthy to Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz, a guy who will go out there and chuck it and give Justin Jefferson some chances, I think. And then I actually really like the addition of Juwan Johnson to the lineup. He's gotten a ton of targets from Rattler. They'll probably be playing from behind quite a bit. And with Eckler going out, Bill finally cracks Cubs starting lineup, it looks like. And I think he got listed officially as RB1. I think they're going to give him a shot. They haven't traded for anybody, made any moves, so I think they're going to give the rookie a shot.
Yeah, and I believe I saw Nichols questionable. I don't know if he's necessarily. I know they have Rodriguez too. A lot of guys in that backfield, but the hype for Bill was insane, and you got to think this is the week for him to really show it.
One last thing, because we didn't mention it in week 0, I'm obligated to talk about Tedero McMillan just a bit. Bryce Young looked decent, at least in the fourth quarter. Tedero went over 100 yards last week.
So I think he has 19 targets on the season, or is it 19 receptions? I mean, a ton of usage is my point there.
Drafted high, looks the part, should be getting some targets. They don't have a whole lot of other guys to throw the ball to, so we'll see.
Yeah, definitely. All right, now.
Game of the week.
Game of the week.
Couple great records here.
Yeah. I mean, we got 4-0. We got 3-1. We got, in my opinion, the 2 best teams in the league right now. Ryan, you're a close second. I will say.
I think it's only a little disrespectful, but I'll let you have it.
Yeah. 2 teams that are just top to bottom. I do not see a lot of holes. I know Casey just added Kraft, which I did think tight end was a hole for him. But when you look at the teams, I think the running backs are good. The wide receivers are good. You got 2 star wide receivers. You got 2 star running backs. You got two quarterbacks that put points up. Flexes that are definitely not bad. Jordan Mason. Yeah, Jordan Mason
should be a starter this week.
He's the sole back. Lucas has got so many options for his flex right now. I think he's got Breece Hall on his bench, and then Emeka.
Hit on a lot of picks.
Emeka's on his bench right now too. So
hit on a lot of picks there. Yeah, to have a 4th round pick on your bench by week 3, that means you're either did something very wrong or very right. And in this case, Lucas hit on most of his picks there and has done a great job managing the team.
Yeah, and then looking at Casey's team, I mean, Derrick Henry, I expect him to have a bounce back week. I mean, looking more at what he did week 1 instead of week 2. I think that Browns defense is just so legit. I know I've said it multiple times.
Yeah.
Jamar Chase.
Bucky looks great.
Yeah, Bucky looks good. Jamar Chase looks fine. He looks fine.
Even after Browning got in the game, I think he sent 10, 11 targets his way.
Yeah, I mean,
and I forget if he scored his touchdown with Browning or not, but got in the end zone. Massive game, even without playing with Joe Burrow for most of it.
Yeah. I will say, when you look at Casey's team right now, the Bills' defense has allowed 14. The Dolphins hasn't done too much.
Probably not quite at 7 points anymore.
But, I mean, game of the week, you got the 2 best in my eyes, and 2 of the better records. I will say, chill, you do have KCB on the record, but 2 of the better records in the league. This one will be a fun one. I did not double check all the projected totals, but I'm sure in terms of total projected points combined, this matchup probably has the most. But
I think Cub and Tanner was pretty close as well.
Oh yeah, no, you're right. Cub and Tanner was more.
Yeah, but very, very close.
118. Maybe
actually, I don't think there's any big lopsided. Bowen Scott's game is projected a little bit lower than the rest, but it's close. Yeah. So I think we should have a good slate this week.
Yeah. Me too. So we're gonna give you a quick update on the picks. I know we did as well last week, even though I had them wrong. But you got me at 3-7, slow start. Ryan at 7-3. I have a chance this week to get some
Yeah,
back. I do.
some
I mean,
differences here.
there's 3 different ones, so definitely have a little bit of an opportunity there to get some picks back there.
I agree. I'll wish you the best of luck, but I'll also wish myself the best of luck. So I think I'm gonna be sitting at 12-0 or 12-3 after this week, and
Yeah, I hope
build a little bit more on my lead.
Yeah, I need a bounce back here. We'll see. Definitely excited. Another good week of football. We got Patriots Steelers. I think that'll be a good game. I think your Chiefs will probably walk away with their first win.
They need it.
And then I don't know. You got
Monday night. You got Detroit and
yeah. That's
Ravens.
exactly where I was headed. I mean, it should be a good
That should
Monday
be a
night
great
game.
one.
Right now, the Bills game is 14-14 at half. So interesting stuff there. But with that, I mean, as always,
Gotta love,
good
gotta love
luck,
good football
everyone.
games.
I hope no one gets injured. Talk to you
Best
guys
of luck,
next week.
gentlemen.
Yep.
Yep.
See you guys. Yep.